Alright, Kaos Nova here, and this episode of my commentary on video games is going to be talking about what kind of setting could we expect in Fallout 5. I'm expecting, generally speaking, for there to be years in between when Fallout 4 was released and when Fallout 5 is happening. So if it does happen, I expect years from now or years after Fallout 76. So I've thought of a couple little places we could take a look at as being a possible place for Fallout 5 to happen, as well as the aspects that these places or locations in North America could offer to the game, more specifically the post-apocalyptic United States of America. So we're going to take a look at 3 different areas and what they could offer for a game setting. Before this, I'm going to talk about what areas were covered in the Fallout games so far. So Boston and Massachusetts were Fallout 4. That's it. There were a couple of DLC locations, but not so far out of the way compared to Fallout 3, which you go back to. And Fallout 3 was in Washington, D.C., although there are locations in Point Lookout, which is quite a ways away in Maryland, or even up in orbit over the Earth in Mothership Zeta. I don't know, I'm guessing Mothership Zeta was, hundreds of miles up in orbit, because it doesn't seem like geosynchronous orbited up, but maybe a little higher than what you have for Space Shuttle or. Okay, so that's that. And then you had Fallout New Vegas. And I know this is in order, but Fallout New Vegas was where Las Vegas is supposed to be, along with parts of Nevada, Utah, and possibly Arizona. I believe the Sierra Madre was actually in the Grand Canyon, maybe I'm wrong. And the DLCs, well, let's say the DLCs go over here. They go over Nevada, which is Las Vegas area. It goes into Utah in Honest Hearts, Zion National Park, and then it goes over into possibly the Grand Canyon for the Sierra Madre in Dead Money. Then there's Big Mountain, which could be a number of mountains in Nevada, and that's where Fallout New Vegas is. Fallout 1 and 2 are both in California. Fallout 2 goes a little farther north than the original Fallout does, so it could have been going into Oregon or Washington State. Now, I'm not sure what the opinions of various people are on Fallout Tactics, but Fallout Tactics, Brotherhood of Steel, took place in the Midwest. So it may just be, even though Chicago is mentioned in, say, Fallout 4, as something as part of the lore for the Brotherhood of Steel, it may just be that Chicago was already done. It may just be that one, because Chicago was part of what happened in Fallout Tactics Brotherhood of Steel. Now, Fallout Tactics isn't really mentioned much. It is a game. It's more focused on adventure, or rather battlefield tactics, turn-based battlefield tactics, than it is on the normal Fallout adventure role-playing games are. So, that's it, but this is a location that was covered, just the Midwest. So looking at this, I can still see some good options where you do Fallout 5. And the ones we're going to be talking about with what each location could offer are New York, including New York State and New York City as part of the game. So, and you could possibly do a DLC, say Albany, or somewhere else in the state of New York. It's a huge state. The other location I was thinking of could be Florida, and another one could be Texas. So we're going to be talking about what each little location could offer to Fallout if Fallout 5 was set in there. So that's my introduction. So let's take a look at each of these possible regions in the post-nuclear United States of America.
Alright, so we're taking a look at Texas as a possible location, a region for Fallout 5. Now, there was another individual here on YouTube who pointed out the idea of having Fallout cover the entire United States. Well, I don't entirely agree with him, and I'll have a link to his video in the description, but I do feel that you can cover a large state with multiple climates. A state with a large land area such as Texas, and we technically did that in Fallout 1 and 2 with California and possibly a little north of California, possibly a little bit into Oregon or Washington State. I don't know exactly how it is, I just know it's the west coast of the United States in Fallout 1, or Fallout 1996. So here, you can use that somewhat of that concept and say, hey, have Fallout be the state of Texas. And this is going to go with the other states I'm going to mention here when it comes to a Fallout game made later in Fallout 5, hypothetically. Now, regarding Texas, it's an interesting blend of Native American culture, Mexican culture, and Western European culture, all in one spot. It's pretty interesting, and it'd be interesting to hear what kind of role the Texas oil fields played in the Fallout universe leading up to the war. Was there some kind of nuclear attack? Did Chinese troops also invade Texas like they try to do with Alaska? I don't know. I'd like to know. It'd be interesting. It would be this gap in the plot that we could go take a look at if they chose to do Fallout 5 in Texas. Another one would be the interesting new factions we could get. You'd possibly have a small remnant of Caesar's Legion, depending on the time where it's set. I would like it in a Fallout game, and this is just my opinion, generally speaking, but I would like it if the Brotherhood of Steel was scaled back a bit, and scaled back significantly from how they were in Fallout 4. I would like it if they had more of a supporting role, where you meet characters and do quests for them, the way you did in the original Fallout. I do feel that they've been heavily overused, and you could also do an Enclave representative, possibly being someone who, offers you this quest to help you out a little bit. You can get a revelation this is a reformed Enclave member. Who knows? Because who knows? Both the Brotherhood of Steel and the Enclave have said that they have memberships in multiple branches all over North America. So, where are all those branches? Chicago's mentioned, which implies that maybe Fallout Tactics was a canonical event. So, all I'm saying is that, factions from other games should be less emphasized on, in my opinion, and work on making new factions. Maybe make a new type of raider group, or a group similar to Caesar's Legion, but instead of being inspired by the Romans, or inspired by the Aztecs. And that's the American Empire. So you have this new group that you can either join or fight against, and they're inspired by the Aztecs. They're savage and barbaric to some, but maybe not so much to others. New monsters. Maybe a new armadillo monster, a new horned toad monster. Yeah. Overgrown horned toad. Or a group of horned toads that try to eat people. That would be a horror thing to include. Maybe have the chupacabra coming after you. I'm thinking about the cryptids and special monsters from Fallout 76 here. So that's my ideas about monsters. And maybe for other factions, or not even so much as factions, but have a new type of Texas Rangers group in post-nuclear Texas. And then, have supporting characters where you want to have a detective like you did in Fallout 4 who helps you solve a case. Maybe go have additional groups, like have all those I'll say New Lone Star Republic, because just like NCR, New California Republic, is a reference to how California was a republic before it became a United States state. Texas was a Lone Star Republic initially. They're fighting for independence from Mexico. Now, for other factions, I don't know. But I do feel that there are a number of factions I just mentioned, like the new Texas Rangers group, to be part of post-apocalyptic Texas, and a new group of raiders or pseudo-empire inspired by the Aztecs could be another one. And we can go with that. Also, you can include old landmarks and monuments like the Alamo, include cities such as Houston, Austin, Dallas and the ruins of the cities, depending on how they are, in this post-apocalyptic atmosphere. All the great markings, all the great way to make this region be the state of Texas. Now we're talking about the setting of Fallout 4 being in New York State. Yes, I would say include New York City or whatever is left of New York City after the bombs. And, you know, just like what I said in Texas, it doesn't even have to necessarily be at the same time. Fallout 76 decided to be a prequel that takes place before 2100 even happens. So that's one way to do it. You can make it be parallel with the first Fallout game. And I can go on, but so far we've had Massachusetts in Fallout 4, and that was mentioned as the Commonwealth in Fallout 3 in certain references in the Replicated Man side quest. So here I'm saying include New York, and you can use this large scale thing to include basically the entire New York State if you wanted to. I do feel too. And if you're doing post-apocalyptic New York, you can also do snow. If the game developers are a little bit more advanced than that, have it snow when it's winter time on the calendar in the game. You can also include the various types of state and national parks in New York State. You can also include Albany. You can include Hillsdale, East Nassau, and of course New York City. Taking advantage of these various climates you have in the state of New York, up north near Canada. And that's another thing, that you could even be looking at the remains of Canadian rebels, because Canada was forcibly annexed by the United States in the Fallout universe, leading up to the Great War in 2077. Find maybe a bunker of Canadian rebels or Canadian resistance. And I know I'm not going to be mad at the Canadians in my audience. I'm just saying, you know, this is the Fallout universe. Things went weird, okay, in that universe. People got desperate. You know, it's similar to saying how Australia went into anarchy in Mad Max. It's not real. It's just the worst possible scenario rendition of the future. And also you could include, you know, your theme parks. I really enjoyed in Fallout 4, I enjoyed visiting the Yucca World theme park. Maybe you could have another type of theme park in the Fallout version of New York State. Maybe you go and have something that amalgamates Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse, or Mickey Mouse and Mario. Because I thought a weird idea of Henry the Mouse Plumber. It's funny because that would be both parodying Mickey Mouse from Disney and it'd be poking fun of Mario from Super Mario Brothers. And it's funny that Super Mario Brothers is supposed to be in New York City. So I just think it's pretty funny. It could be a funny parody if they decide to do that. You know, poke fun of Mario and Mickey Mouse at the same time, or poke fun of Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse. Or maybe poke fun of Oswald, because Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was an earlier Disney one than Mickey Mouse. So, and I do have a bias for New York State. Even though I lived a lot of my life in the Midwest, I was actually born in the capital region, close to Albany. So I have a bias for that state of New York in a Fallout game. I think it would be pretty fun to have a place that I used to play in early childhood in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Either way, this is what I have to say about the state of New York in Fallout 5. Alright, so this is my third one. I was thinking, what if they put Fallout 5 in Florida? Now, a lot of Florida is marshland, so they might actually not just be Florida in a Fallout game, but the larger region might actually also go into, say, Louisiana, for instance, or other states close to Florida. Going through marshes, and also going near the beach, maybe. I'm not sure how Fallout games would handle the ocean or the coast, but that's essentially kind of like just how game boundaries, I guess. Fallout 3 involves, since it was near Washington, D.C., you had the Chesapeake Bay and the Potomac River. So, and you had Point Lookout. Oh, yeah, they could do the ocean. They did Point Lookout with an island. So, yeah, it could work. And you know, if you have Fallout 5 in Florida, the new monster could be some kind of mutant alligator thing that can swim around, eat you in the water, maybe jump up in the mud and bite a death claw in the butt. You know, all those funny things. This is a little rendition, you know, of what a mutant alligator monster could be. I mean, it's not that I don't mind, you know, death claws and rat scorpions over and over, but I do think it'd be cool to add a new kind of monster that's local. You know, the Mirelurks in Washington, D.C. to represent how there's horseshoe crabs in the Chesapeake Bay area, or you have the giant mosquitoes in Fallout 4. I don't want to name them. I really am annoyed by them so far. I'm starting to play Fallout 4 myself. And I'll have my thoughts about Fallout 4 later. But, so, one of them could be you have an alligator, because Florida's famous for alligators, have a mutant alligator monster that might eat you, and can swim. A swimming monster in Fallout would be a little scary, I think. I mean, technically Mirelurks already could, but having one with teeth that will do what it can to come after you and bite you, and maybe camouflage itself in the mud, could be interesting. And in case of Florida, you have cities like what's left of Orlando, or what's left of Miami, in the post-apocalyptic ruins. But, you know, as I'm going to finish this off, what are your suggestions of where Fallout could happen? I mean, I know I've mentioned in the preface or introduction that there have been some places that have been used already, but what are some places you want to see? Because I wouldn't mind watching a mod or playing a mod of the old Fallout games turned first person. By the way, leave your thoughts in the comments. If you really like it, you want to be notified on future videos that I'm going to be releasing here, subscribe to the channel and click the bell. Hope you all have a nice time, and I'll be signing off.
And now, here at the end of this exploration of future Fallout game possibilities, I hope you had a great time watching, and if you want to keep up to date with more on other various sci-fi, anime, and tech review and technical instructions that I have coming up on my channel, click the like button and subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and I hope you have a nice day. Be safe out there, and I'll be signing off.
Hello there. Now this is a way you can support my channel here. So first way is my store. This is the Streamlabs store. You can go buy some merchandise, support the channel, some little wacky merchandise with logos on it. Coming up next is my Teespring store, which I will feature products from the store on my videos, other content from time to time. Similar. Very similar, cool, spiffy merchandise you can get with logos on it. A nice hoodie right here with the winter season going on. And here's my Patreon. You can subscribe for exclusive access, early access, and the honor of being a member who offer support to my channel and the ongoing operations and creations especially. And the other one here, I also have a Rumble, which I have other videos for, because with YouTube you want to have a subject focus, so there's other content of other subjects, and this should be it. So in the meantime, I want to thank you as my audience for stopping by to watch this video. Thank you for all your support. In the meantime, be safe out there, and I will be signing off.